recording button has been hit.
All right, well, thank you, and welcome to another run presented by Runner Hub. This is going to be an interesting run in the shadows. This is Devil in the Details. Alrighty, can we just get a brief character sketch of everybody, just description of whatever you want to tell people before we get going? Left to right, Rose.
So Rose is a female elf in that wonderful, always looks 23 age range. She's moderately more attractive than the normal person, but she does have a commanding presence when she enters a room and as she works her way around it. But today, I'm sorry, where did you say the meet was? I haven't opened over here.
It is in Renton, down near the Federated Boeing. So
today is going to be in a Argentum coat day, and if it is the wonderful Seattle chilly weather, it's going to be a Honda Artemis. Just kind of drive on over.
Alright, Wretch.
Yeah, Wretch is a human, a female human, and she's not an elf, she's a human in her late 20s, early 30s. Never left the Barrens, actually. But this time she will be coming from, I believe, yeah, it was Kirkland, so the C-zone next to the wall to the Barrens.
Awesome.
Growler, and yeah, and she also will be just wearing an armor jacket. And helmet, of course.
Well, obviously, if you're on your bike, you need to think safety first.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, MP4. Where are you coming from, and what do you look like?
I'm straight out of Milton. It is actually AMP, it's elite speak or whatever. And he's young. He's like a kid still. He's about 6 foot tall. He's wearing a motorcycle helmet most of the time when you see him, and he just has like a leather jacket on and some jeans, and I guess a satchel. It's kind of like a smaller figure. He tries to hide from people.
Fair enough. And Amazon.
Alright. Amazon is a female human, and she is slightly huge, as in 6'3".
Oh my god.
And that is partly where her name comes from. The other part comes from her participation in the Amazonia conflict as a mercenary, and she has the scars to show for it on her face, and it actually reduces her range of facial expressions because of damage to the musculature near her eyes. She is rocking an armored jacket, as with the others, as she heads from downtown in her apartment to the meet.
She lives in downtown, you said?
Yes.
That's awesome. High lifestyle for the win. Alrighty. Is anybody going to be armed when you head to the coffee shop?
I'll have my my hold-out pistol.
I'll have like an SMG in the trunk of the car, but that's about it. All registered, nice and legal, like.
Concealed machine pistol for Amazon.
Predator 5, Iris Predator 5 in a concealed holster with concealed carry license and firearms license.
Fantastic. It is always nice when people have their licenses on them. Let's Kay know exactly where all the guns are. Alright, if anybody wants to show up early, please say so now, otherwise I'm going to assume you're all going to show up about the same time.
What time of day was the actual meet?
The meet is going to be like 10 brunch.
So unless there's any kind of fancy sales going on in that area, Rose will probably only show up about 20 minutes early, take a quick look around the other businesses that are in the area, stop into some window shop. I'm sorry, I completely could not find those words, and just kind of look. I happen to be in the area. Let me pop in for a quick soy calf.
Well, this is a real coffee shop. They don't serve soy calf.
Oh, well then.
Yeah.
Let me Google most pretentious things you can order at a Starbucks and find out what she gets.
Yeah, this is not a soy box. They actually serve coffee here. I'm sure they actually serve an Awaken brand of coffee that will set you back a little bit, but it's supposed to keep you awake and alert for 18 hours. Whether it actually does or not, well, your mileage may vary.
So she's going to order a 5-shot venti, 2/5 decaf risotto shot, 1 pump vanilla, 1 pump hazelnut, bereave, 1 sugar in the raw with whipped caramel drizzle on top, free poured 4 pump mocha.
Okay. The barista doesn't even hesitate to start making that. This seems to be a fairly normal type of order. Maybe not exactly that, but that type of order.
Perfect.
Oh, crap. Oh, we're meeting in a hipster shop.
And what is your lifestyle, just because I'm curious?
Middle lifestyle.
Okay. It'll take a little bit out of your excess spending this month, but you're okay.
Worth it.
Alright. Anybody else showing up a little bit early?
Reg,
I guess
maybe
it's
5
gonna-
minutes, but not much.
Amazon's going to show up about 10 early, and I'm guessing she's going to spend those entire 10 minutes trying to understand the menu.
I'll show up a little bit early. I just get a coffee and sit quietly at a table waiting.
Okay. You have a low lifestyle, which unfortunately
Thank
does
you.
mean that some things are going to cost. Drop 20 nuyen for
Okay.
your coffee.
Yeah.
Anybody who has low lifestyle or lower that decides to get a drink will cost you 20 nuyen just to make things easy. As you guys are sitting there, a gentleman who very obviously fits in this area, almost every single person you see is wearing something nice. I mean, you are in a AA zone right next to Federated Boeing. There is a lot of money here. Yes, Amazon, you have 600 nuyen.
Plus your cash what's left over from Jarjan, but...
Yeah, plus whatever's left over. Alright, Rose, you're pretty good at blending in. Most people are a little bit self-absorbed here as well, so it's not that difficult.
I'm hurt that you think I'm self-absorbed. I care about the little people.
I said the other people.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they work at Federated Boeing. Of course they're self-absorbed. And right exactly at the time that he gave you, a gentleman walks in wearing a sharp black suit. And he sees Rose, which he seems to recognize, and walks towards her.
Seeing him approach, she will get up and do the thing where she's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you could join me," and motion for him to kind of sit down. She would have, if this was like a nice round table with a couple of seats, taken the head of the table position.
Okay. Wretch, Amp, and Amazon, he does motion, because you guys tend to stick out a little bit more than everybody else. Even
Still
though he
ain't
doesn't
helping.
recognize you, he recognizes what you are. So you guys are motioned to join.
I get up and I walk over and I bow deeply and I sit down.
Amazon
Observant.
will head over as well.
Okay, observe in detail. Are you looking at everybody or just the gentleman that joined you?
The most of the clientele, trying to just build a mental picture of who these people are and how they get by in their day-to-day life.
There's one table with a bunch of, well, the nicest way to call it would be geeks, but they're a little bit older, middle-aged, and they are flipping through AR displays. You're guessing, you can't see them. They all have Federated Boeing badges hanging off their shirts. They are more than likely engineers. You have a couple of people that look like they haven't done a day of honest work in their life. Perfectly manicured hands, wearing expensive suits that cost more than an annual wage for some of their employees. That type of thing.
I love it.
That's so. Were you describing Rose?
She's only wearing the Argentum coat today. She's not wearing the whole Sleeping Tiger getup.
Sleeping Tiger.
Alrighty. Is everybody comfortable, and do you have your drinks that you wish?
Yeah.
Drinks? I can't even read the menu.
Are you like visibly struggling with reading the menu?
She's uneducated, so it's more of what the frack are those letters meaning? What type of savage language are they speaking? Why not proper English?
This menu doesn't have any pictures on it.
She's not illiterate, just uneducated.
Yeah, so when they say things like venti and mochachinos and caramel frappe, it's like, huh?
You said words, but I don't understand those words.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically.
He chooses not to insult you by answering your not understanding the menu type thing, and I was like, all right, well, this is very simple. There is an individual that needs to have an accident, and I need to know whether you can accomplish said accident.
Well, it depends upon whether or not you had an idea for the kind of accident in mind. Want to double check real quick that I actually have like a white noise generator or something? Or is there something of that variety set up?
There is nothing set up. It just seems to be loud here.
Okay.
Like, there's just a lot of noise because it is crowded. I mean, it's
Brad has a
brunch
white
and-
noise, so
You have a white noise thingy?
Yep.
Alright. So, in a polite but moderately hushed tone to not let the others at the other tables nearby, she's like, well, it really depends upon who and if you had any specifications on what kind of accident you wanted this man to, or woman, I suppose, to encounter.
Well, it would be preferable if it looked like an honest accident. However, it is not required.
And
He just needs to no longer be an issue for me.
Are we talking in a permanent manner?
Yes.
I understand. And I'll take the moment to look at the people that I am apparently going to be working with. To
If anybody wants to judge intentions, they are welcome to.
oh sure.
Okay, well, he is most definitely saying that he wants somebody unalived.
Gotcha.
Truly, this is shocking and horrifying.
More than likely, this is an intermediary Johnson because he doesn't seem personally vested based off of his reactions. And with 7 hits, you can tell that.
So he's the middleman that is, hey, I need you to find some people that are going to kill a man for me.
Right.
So I will open up a D&I call to the folks at the table that are obviously not Mr. Johnson, and potentially a secondary D&I call to everybody, including Mr. Johnson, if Mr. Johnson will accept it.
He hesitates for a moment, but accepts. You see his brow furrow as if he was curious about this.
It'll pop up with a message that says, just in case that, sometimes you don't want to say certain specifics aloud, no matter how potentially secure a conversation might be.
He glances around, but on the DNI it says, people here are too absorbed with their own egos to worry about listening into our table.
I'm gonna, when reading that, I'll take my coffee and do one of the be kind of just an obnoxious drinking sound for a moment. Well then, I assume my compatriots are not opposed to this kind of work, so we can get on to some of the details then.
Actually, I have a question. What ethnicity is this guy?
He is about as Caucasian as you can get.
Okay.
Is he video game protagonist?
Yeah.
Oh, he is full on Aaron.
Oh.
Right in.
Right. Just wondering.
Perfect blonde hair, crisp blue eyes, that perfect white smile that, just doesn't stop.
Wonderful.
The finest whiteness plastic surgery can buy.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Genetics, please.
He's just one of the lucky ones, alright? It's all natural.
Of course.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Alright, he looks at each of you individually, waiting on confirmation that you will take the job or that you are not interested.
I nod. Just kind of like,
Alright, I am offering 15,000 nuyen for the death of this man, and he twitches a finger and an AR flies out to the 4 of you that has a picture of an individual wearing a Horizon uniform.
Can I do a matrix search real quick for this guy? Bring up any pictures of him?
You most definitely can.
Alright, let me just... So that's a computer plus logic? Yeah, computer plus intuition. Alright, so intuition is 5. I got 10. Oh, what's that? 10D.
Hey, let me roll something too.
What? Oh, sorry. 10. Yeah, I got 5 successes.
Alright, and what was your roll on AMP?
It was to find the picture of the
computer
guy.
search? Matrix search?
Yeah, matrix search.
Okay, quick matrix search shows that he is an employee at a Horizon media subsidiary type thing. Not a subsidiary, but one of the remote locations up north in Juanita Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that in Seattle thing, or?
Yes, it is in Seattle. If you look at the map, which I don't know if you have the map open.
Nope.
But if from Bellevue at 405 and 90, if you go north, just past Redmond, Toursville, it'll be west. There's Juanita Bay.
Okay.
No, he has
Ah,
not
I
been in
see
the
it.
news recently. Wretch, as far as you know, that he does not have any bounties. He's not involved with gangs or syndicate. Let me go roll through Rose's information.
Sorry, bro.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Off the top of your head, there are no current events about him. Based off of his uniform, you are pretty sure that he works in a media PR type company or position. He doesn't have any organized crime connections that you're aware of. He does not go clubbing, and rumor mill.
That could be about
That's a lot
Horizon
of hits.
as a whole,
Yeah,
or that area, or we can just let those hits hang for a minute.
Yeah, let those hang for a minute. Security procedures Horizon. They do a little bit of everything. They're not MCT, but they're nothing to be, shrugged at.
Yeah.
Alrighty. He's like, this man has been an issue. He is stifling those who are better than him with a silver tongue, and it has become enough of an issue that it is time to remove him.
Wonderful night for a Shadowrun.
So a secondary thing is going to be asked, what kind of timeline would you like this accomplished in?
I'm not giving you a strict timeline, but I would prefer sooner than later.
Of course. And she'll beam him a winning smile. And if you'll excuse us for just one moment, and she'll open up the four-man conversation. Questions or comments we might want to ask this man? And what kind of skill set do we have available to us today?
I'm a hacker, decker. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Decking things, if you need that done.
I suppose I'll go next. I will be our muscle for the evening, most likely. And other than that, I have a not insignificant capability as far as stealth and some degree of infiltration, though I'm not about to be cracking any maglocks myself.
Rose will kind of beam a smile at you when you mention muscle.
Well, at 6'3", yeah. I'm sure she looks like the muscle.
Oh, don't say it like that. We don't want to discourage her. And then kind of turn the attention to Wretch, who I imagine might be fighting with her comlink a little bit. Or maybe muted, which might also be a problem.
Huh? No, I
I like that he said, oh, I was, and then it stopped.
No, I was... Oh, hang on.
Oh boy.
Guin, are you having issues with Skype?
I got a few fingers in your face. Who doesn't?
Okay, let's try TeamSpeak. Does everybody have that installed?
No, but I can do that real quick.
Okay, go ahead and get that installed.
Actually, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's hosting the call? Maybe it's just the connection is too bad.
I am.
I am hosting the call, and I have Google Fiber, so it is extremely unlikely.
Do you want to just try having somebody else host
You're
real
cutting
quick?
out for me all of the time.
Oh.
Alright, let's have somebody else host it then.
Thank you, Skype, for being a service. I'm gonna jump on that host the call button and see what happens.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see what happens now.
Hello.
Hello,
Any
how's
better?
that?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better to me.
Much better.
Take that, Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Alright, so, Wretch, when people
Yeah.
turn to you to ask you what your specialty is.
She will just waggle her fingers and make like the woo.
Right.
Just
Well,
like in the annoyed.
it's good to know that we have
Already pissed off, just like, hey, why are you asking?
great. Rose is gonna get along just as good with her as she does with Gun Girl.
You just see me kind of shrink deeper into my seat.
It's like, oh, come, sit up now. It's not no such complexities here. So, I feel like we have a pretty good way that we can make this happen without any intense, stressful situations, we can call it. Get a little bit more information out of him. Is there anything anybody here would like to know from our Mr. Johnson before we get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers?
Does our target have any idea that he is a target?
Excellent question.
Good question.
Well, he knows that people don't like him, but everybody likes him. He's one of those people, if that makes any sense at all.
All too much sense.
I believe that many would call him a silver-tongued asshole.
I hope this is the first and last time I hear about tongued asshole today.
We'll find out. Oh,
And that is absolutely what Amazon says in character, if the words silver-tongued asshole are used in character.
Then the Johnson will make a small face like, God, fucking peasants, and then, go back to his professional facade.
There's just a light whimpering sound from an amp.
So, Mr. Johnson, now it comes to the unfortunate, difficult parts of these conversations that we both know is coming. There is a number of situations that I think we could arrange to deal with your problem that you have. A matter of recompense will get you a better, let's call it, quality of product. The product will be delivered, but the trappings surrounding it can be something that is influenced by a higher revenue stream. So you didn't give a specific timeline, but are we working on today being Monday?
Yes, today is Monday. Today is Monday at brunch.
Monday at brunch, okay. So I'm feeling we could be doing this in probably before the end of the week. Some details, based upon the information that we discover along the way, may influence that decision a little bit, unless there is more information you care to share with us at this moment.
Give me a negotiation roll.
Oh God.
Well, you are getting information, because, wow, that was a bad roll. Information, if it will make your job easier, will make my job get done. I would appreciate my job getting done. Therefore, he gives you a brief dossier on the target. He works in Juanita Bay at a Horizon Media PR facility. There's nothing fantastic that you know of right off the top of your head about this facility. It's, like I said, up north. He lives in Bellevue, and he has a dock wagon subscription.
Does he know the
That
rating?
is good to know.
Does he know the
Does
rating
he
of the
know
dock
what?
wagon subscription?
He does not. He just knows that he wears, the dock wagon bracelet.
Okay.
Yeah, to our little private call going on, I just say, do we know if he leaves his house very often? We could catch him in his car. I could make it crash. I mean, car's dangerous after all.
There, in the dossier, it does mention that he goes gambling on occasion.
Even more
Usually about
dangerous.
once a week.
Does it mention where?
Yes. The Gates. Which is in Bellevue, I believe. Let me double check.
Yeah, it's in Bellevue, near AAA zone.
Yeah. It's in AAA, and it's, a casino.
So it's a very nice casino.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
is
it's
Bellevue?
right north of Council Island.
Oh.
Along the water.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's next to the Seattle Aris headquarters. Not missing.
It's a good distance from where I live.
Sorry, did you say it was a good distance from where he lives?
Yeah, from where I live, sorry.
Oh.
It's just
It's a good distance from where I live too. The other side of the country. It's like, well, Mr. Johnson, this is some very useful information, actually, including when somebody has let's call it a taxing hobby, such as gambling. One might not know who they run across in those circles. It is certainly an interesting situation to be in as well. However, it being you said it was AAA, right?
Yes.
It being a AAA zone is going to require a little bit more grease for the wheels, if you understand my meaning, I'm sure. That the quality of bribe to get certain things done and the reluctance from the people to lose what I'm sure is a person who probably loses more than he wins, and then is a source of good revenue for said gambling house. I also imagine that he will bring people of importance there as a show of his own esteem. If he goes there every week, he's clearly a regular and a well-known individual, so he's going to use that to his advantage to make himself seem more impressive to his clients, because honestly, that is what I would do. So that is going to make things a little bit more difficult. And then she will continue as and I'll edge that, because give me your money.
Ah.
Well, apparently this guy is having an off day. He's,
No, he just doesn't.
Clearly, he just recognizes what it takes to get someone from a AAA knocked off.
he nods and he's like, you bring up some very valid points. And he slides a cred stick across the table after locking it in his comm for a moment. He's like, there's an extra 12K up front on top of the 15 per when you're done.
Somewhere in the discussion, the idea of escrow and that kind of stuff would be brought up. Is that included as well, or?
If you want escrow, he you see him focus on an AR for a moment, and then an AR pops up. He's like, is this person acceptable? It's a well-known shadow escrow person.
Of course, you understand in the the situation involving mega corporations becomes a little bit more dangerous for both of us, actually, should things go horribly astray.
Okay, out of character, I'm just clarifying, you're getting 15k per, plus the 3k per that is on the cred stick that he just slid you.
Yep, and Rose will do that thing where she puts her coffee cup down next to it and slides it back as she pulls her hands back over the table.
Can I actually run a matrix search on our Johnson?
You most definitely can.
Alright. Never thought I'd be saying run a matrix search on my Johnson, but, you know.
2 hits isn't going to get you anything. If you want to do an extended test, I would recommend not doing it here in front of the Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that right now. Just take a picture of him. Yeah.
Alrighty. Do you have any more questions, concerns, or information that you need from me?
Just the comm code that we can reach you out for confirmation of job completion.
He waves an AR and you all have his comm code. Or a comm code.
And then maybe a recommendation for a place to go for dinner tonight, since you seem to know this area so well.
He points across the street where there is a Greek cafe that hasn't even opened yet because it is too early and, well, they're still preparing. It's one of those only open for dinner, not open for breakfast or lunch.
Right, opens
cafes.
at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something.
Right. And he looks at the others. He's like, however, I might recommend down the street a few blocks. There's a place that might be more to your level of income. He says that in a much politer way. Because I couldn't remember the words I'm thinking of.
Do they have Arby's in the future?
I'm sure there is an Arby's.
In our private call, I recommend we go to Arby's.
Amazon will send that little text ping over the DNI.
Oh,
I could run a search for that on Matrix.
The place across the street has a few light mafia associations, but nothing heavy. It's not like they're owned by it. They just sometimes meet there.
Okay, so it's not exactly a... With the dinner restaurant, she was fishing for information on the Johnson, is all she was really doing.
No. It just happens to be a really, really nice restaurant.
Sure. So yeah, no, we can adjourn from here and we can go somewhere else.
Alrighty. He stands and says, "Thank you for your time. I look forward to completing our transaction in the future."
Rose will stand and shake his hand with a appropriate amount of force that he puts into it, and we'll wish him a good rest of his day.
He grabs one of the to-go lids for his coffee and steps out and walks down the road.
Well, folks, it seems like we should also be heading off.
Off to Bellevue, then.
Oh, no,
Sounds good to me.
Not quite Bellevue yet.
Well,
Yeah, no, that'd be a little premature.
For now, though, where do I want to go? Let's go find I gotta pull up an actual Shadowrun map here. Shadowrun Seattle map.
we're outside of Boeing, right?
Yes, in Renton, which is just south of Council Island. I just signed in the map in
Oh god, this map
Roll 20.
Yeah,
that is way too complex for me.
That is?
Yeah, I prefer something nice and simple, like that one. Because I can see that, and it.
Okay, well, on your map where it says SeaTac Airport, you guys are currently just north of the P.
Okay. So yeah, no, we should go through Renton and find a nice place in Redmond that we can do some scouting on.
And on your map where it says Redmond, if you go straight west and there's that little bay that pops out of into the land in Bellevue, that's Juanita Bay.
Excellent. So we have a nice, quick escape route.
Does anyone have a boat?
I don't have a boat, no. Not at the moment, anyway.
I'm going to give you guys a couple moments to discuss. I'm going to run to the bathroom. If you wish to, you can as well.
All right. So, I'm thinking, if it has to look like an accident, we got a few options. We could poison him. We could crash his car. I could take control of it, remote that thing into the lake or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we could.
So if we could find out from his dock wagon what kind of health situations he in, we could totally manipulate that to our advantage. In addition, it'll also tell us what kind of HTR response time we could be dealing with. Should things get messy?
We could pose as dock wagon.
That's not unreasonable.
No. Can you, Chama, can you bullshit dog wagon? Can you spew medical bullshit?
I do actually have some medical skill.
Medicine shit.
Maybe? Where's my medical skill?
So Rose will begin saying some things that sound like they came off of whatever a CSI medical drama is in the Sixth World, to the tune of 7 hits.
I have 6 dice for medical. Do I have a active soft for that? Or no soft or something? I don't think I do. Should have gotten that.
So that was just, off last week's episode of Trolls Anatomy or whatever it is called.
Trolls Anatomy.
So I show back up, and you guys are going to pretend to be Dock Wagon. This is fantastic. I have
common sense. I have common sense. I know this is bullshit.
This is necessarily bullshit.
We were talking about Trolls Anatomy, our favorite reality TV show.
Favorite medical drama.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So where are you guys going for your little chat and planning sessions?
Somewhere in Redmond.
Going home.
So I'm thinking we find there's probably a runner bar or something like that.
There's a lot of runner bars in Redmond.
Yeah. Or a random gang that is shadow appropriate that I can give them some money and flash them some cash to get a back room for some quiet time in that area.
Brain Eaters have Touristville. If you're really crazy, you could go try to deal with the Red Hot Nukes.
I actually wouldn't mind dealing with the Red Hot Nukes.
All right. Well, you can.
You mean the 2 that are left over?
Oh, are they dead now?
No, there was just some mess that happened with them.
Yeah, they're splintered, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, if you want Touristville, there's lots of shadow bars, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, the nukes that you've talked to are like, I like you. You're pretty.
She is,
As he looks up at you and, has this look like he wants to do things to you that you don't want to think about.
Yeah, bigger men than him have tried. But she will also feed into there that I could maybe have use for some of your gang's reputation for talents, dependent upon the information we find out. If you guys are willing to make a little bit more Nuyen.
He, maybe that'll help. Thinking out loud, he's like, alright, give me 500 new yen. You got that safe house, and he points to a house about half a block away. He's like, nobody will bother you for the next 2 days.
She'll gladly give him the 500 and ask to exchange of a quick comm code that she could call him up if she needs their talents.
He more than happily gives Rose his comm code.
Oh God.
So, we have ourselves a safe house, which will take a quick couple of minutes to get just a lay of the land, see what is up, make sure there's no squatters hanging out in here, that kind of thing.
Cleared out.
Oh, Regis will be totally down to help you clear it out.
I'm just gonna stay outside, guys, if you don't mind.
Come on.
Hmm.
This can't be your first rodeo, is it?
Actually, it is.
So Rose is going to come up around you, put her arm around your shoulder, be like, "We're going to have a great time," and kind of drag you, kicking and screaming into the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3 brand new runners, but 2 brand new players. So,
Yeah,
just so everybody's aware.
that's fine. Rose is going to do Rose's thing. Become socially dominant, and I will apologize for that ahead of time.
Can
Oh,
kick
that
back
is
and watch.
fantastic.
I let myself get drug into the house. I'm like clutching an Ares 5 pistol to my chest the entire time.
Yeah, no.
So you
But
go ahead.
just like, she's basically clearing out if anybody's in there with shotgun.
Okay, the house is actually empty. The Red Hot Nukes gave
Man.
you an empty house.
That's nice of them.
Aww.
So I'm sure most of you would be interested in doing this, spending as little Nuyen as possible. But I have a couple of ideas that might involve spending some cash. Some of them are not exactly covert, but some of them are, let's say, more direct. I like your dock wagon idea. We can totally work with that. It'll require a little bit of work to make into a proper plan.
Mm.
But it'll also depend upon what kind of information we find. We find out.
Yeah.
Well, in the words of I have no idea who the hell said it, sometimes you have to spend money to make money.
Yes.
Actually, can I do that extended test on our mark?
On your mark, go
Yeah.
for it.
That's my
Thought it
You
was-
have a name, you have his address, so you'll be able to, quickly zero in and start getting relevant information.
I just want to know if he has any go to the sleazy BBSs and stuff where they're talking about this guy spotted doing drugs here and stuff like that.
Okay, give me another roll. Okay, with 5 hits, you know that he is a fan of the arts. There's the Beau Arts Village in Bellevue that he also spends quite a bit of time at. They do live plays. Most of them have, illusion artist mages helping out with effects. Some of them are, classic Shakespearean type things. It's all very fancy stuff.
Yeah, I forward everyone a link to the website or host or whatever I found that on, and I attached to it. I just kind of have maybe you could have a special effects problem? ?
You just happened to see him. It was on the social page. He wasn't the one they were taking a picture of, but he was near somebody they were taking a picture of.
Yeah.
The gate is pretty clean.
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, there's going to be some people that try to get in or use it for meets and whatnot, but it doesn't, as far as you're aware, it's not controlled by. What do you want to, or what kind of information about Dockwagon are you looking for?
Not a whole lot apparently.
Yeah, if you have a Dockwagon bracelet, it has a biomonitor, and if at any time they lose connection with the biomonitor or it goes flatline, they show up, and they show up in force.
That's an idea.
They don't do extraterritorial extractions without permission, though.
I think that depends upon what level. I'm pretty sure if you have like the super high level, it's no holds barred.
Yeah.
None of them do extraterritorial extractions without permission. However, you can get permission from, like, say you're an employee somewhere. You can say, hey, I want permission for Dockwagon to respond to my bracelet at this location. And more than likely your employer will be like, oh, okay.
If we do find this guy...
yeah, right. No contact, no contract. No incursions, basically.
Extended check, I'm guessing, on the procedures. Oh, edged.
Yeah,
Edged.
I don't think you can exactly extend a knowledge check.
I thought maybe you were looking it up.
No, that would be what our computer friend here that Rose is going to have a sit down and we're going to have a little chit chat.
Okay, edging Dockwagon security procedures. When they show up, it is a 4 or 5 man team. There's always one mage in it, and they go to their target, they stabilize their target, then they remove their target and take them in for long-term care, and if anybody attempts to stop them, they put holes in them.
So a question I'm going to have on that situation is that what happens if a false signal is reported?
If a false signal is reported, they will show up, the same as if, it was a real signal, and then they go, hey, something's wrong with your bracelet, and they'll change his bracelet out and fix it.
I mean, if I could just find the guy...
They'll still get charged for the response time, more than likely, but,
Depending upon the contract, of course.
Right.
If we're to find this guy, cause a bit of chaos where he is, bombs or something, people are running about, and I data spike his bracelet, that calls the team, they have to open fire or whatever to get past to them, maybe even hire some gangs to get in their way. We could just shoot him and make it look like they shot him. It's a bit of a stretch, but,
I like where you're starting off. However, we are, it's a little bold.
Yeah, it's AAA.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a vote for not committing acts of terrorism on AAA territory.
So my thought process was going to be that we impersonate a Dockwagon crew, finding out where he is and saying there has been an interruption in service with your bracelet. We're afraid that there might be a team moving upon you. As per rumors that we have heard, we need you to come with me.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Okay, maybe imply that his bracelet was hacked or something.
Yeah.
Get him to go along with us.
Combine that with actually hacking his bracelet and his personal communications, and we can reroute any calls that he is attempting to make, and we can get him to come willingly with us into a van that we procure, and then a long walk off a short pier later.
Sounds fine.
However, that is all going to depend upon how much information that you can get for us, Amp. I know that this is a little bit of a shock, and that's fine. It's not actually that big of a pressure. This is just the first step in our planning. That is a quick and easy, dirty way, but there are a number of other things that could happen. For instance, I could go talk and find out if I know anybody in the actual casino, and we could find out if he has enemies, and we could frame those enemies. So I don't want to put pressure on you in your first little situation.
This is the only thing I'm good at, really.
What is the time frame of Matrix searches? I can't remember. Is it half hour?
It's like minute, half hour, 12 hours, I think.
Yeah. It's not like terrible.
So if
Mhm.
Amazon and Wretch have anything they want to do, Rose is going to be sitting here and pep talking.
Hmm.
So our basic list of
See.
possible angles of attack that I have come up with is associates, allergies, debts, and drug habits.
Now, yeah,
Take this one step at a time. We need info first. So,
I'm just saying those would be a good set of fields to approach first.
yeah.
Because, hey, if we find out the guy's a raging Nova Coke fiend, we have our easy accident idea.
Just overdosing.
So let's go, Googler. Google.
Alright, so I gotta make another test to see if this guy is a raging Nova Coke fiend. Is this gonna be an extended test as well? I'm guessing.
You might get lucky and find it out quickly, but
I'm gonna.
we'll find out.
Can I edge this beforehand so I get 5 dice? Because I have 5 edge.
You can pre-edge. It will give you 5 extra dice, and all of your 6s explode.
Alright.
And if you're
and
cool
if-
with it, I threw some leadership dice to help you.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm okay with leadership. So you have 9 extra dice, and put an exclamation point after the 5, and it will automatically explode your 6s.
And with the edge, you ignore your Oh, hey, I guess it doesn't really matter that you ignore your limit.
All right. Well, you can either take 3 or you can extend it.
I'm gonna extend it.
Okay. This will not get your extra edge, but because he's still giving you pep talks, you'll get your 4.
Alright, so I got 14 dice. Oops.
I believe we're
Actually,
also...
I have 13.
Yeah,
but it doesn't
because extended tests decay by 1 die with each iteration.
Alright, I'll reroll that then. Yep, 3. So I have 5, which is the
So-
same.
You're
Hmm.
at 6 hits. As far as you can tell, he doesn't have any major drug habits.
If I go for another test, does that mean I'm like...
Well,
What
your
is it?
first test takes like 30 seconds or a minute. Your second test takes extending it once takes it up to 30 minutes, and I think the third test takes it to 12 hours.
Well, that'll be the day gone if we do that.
Yeah.
I think we can safely call it at this point as saying if he had
Just in case.
a big enough drug problem for it to come up, it would have come up.
Yeah, the what's it called? Their dock wagon would know as well if we just get access to that info.
Yes, you can definitely try to hack Doc Wagon.
I don't think I want to do that.
I mean, hey, they're only a AA.
What's the worst that could happen?
We might be hacking a AAA by the time this day is out.
That's true. I mean, we do. No, I don't want to do that.
Call it a warm-up, huh?
Yeah.
Right into the frying pan.
Just hot sim. Might as well just get my brain fried on the way in.
Right. What's the worst that could happen? All brute force all the time.
You don't have his com code.
Okay.
Lee Johnson did not provide it.
All right. I'm trying to think about what else I can do here. We could good old fashioned stakeout.
Let me make some calls.
All right.
Let me find out what Vadim can do.
The big thing he can do is he's a Vori guy, so I'm basically, hey, you're a Vori man. What do you know about this kind of stuff? And I'll slide him some dough if he likes.
Fantastic. So you're gonna do word on the street? No, that's,
Sure.
That's just for. That's just for organized crime. Never mind.
So one of the
Okay,
things
so
that
he
we're-
doesn't have any special rules. It's just you're asking him for information.
Yeah, just kind of like, hey, do you have anything going on in this area that I should be aware of, so that I don't mess with your stuff. I don't. Fucking information broker contact is useless.
Ow.
Let me see who else I can poke here for information.
Maybe not knowledge test. Let me see my skills. Guessing.
Vadim's like, I have no idea who this fragger is.
Good. I would hate to have unfortunate things happen to a man who gambles at one of your establishments.
Are you planning on making mess at my house?
No, this is at somebody else's house. That's why I wanted to call you to make sure, so that, I don't want to mess things up for you.
He grunts in, approval. Good. I hate messes.
Me too. I will.
Let me go.
I will
There you go.
send him Nuyen equal to a nice bottle of vodka for him to purchase.
Okay. Call it 50.
Can I make a roll to see if I have any, or if I know of any Yakuza, like, people in this area, like, in that bar, or to do with that bar? Casino, rather.
You most definitely can. Draben does not know a damn thing. He just knows that the Johnson hired him, or asked him for your information. Ink is like, who? Is this guy important? No? Then why are you talking to me?
No, that's fine.
Amp, what was that one for? The Yakuza contact?
Yeah. Or just, like, if there's anything to do with the Yakuza in that bar or area.
Well, there's plenty of yaks that live there, because, well, they're rich bastards.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple of them that go there on occasion, but more than likely they spend their time playing mahjong gambling rather than cards and craps gambling.
Jeez, Ares Macro Technology has their freaking headquarters right next to that place.
That's why we're not going to do anything to him at that place.
Yeah.
I don't want to run from KEHDR in 15 seconds.
So a second question that I would like answered is, do we have a list of his, or can we find a list, actually, I guess would be more appropriate, of the places that he media manages this?
Yes, you most definitely can.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If you, do some digging.
He said, crack my knuckles and... Can I do this for you?
Yes, go for it. Dig in.
Alright. See if I, Matrix roll. Let's not bugger this up. That actually wasn't bad.
Alright, actually you got lucky and found that Horizon was talking about a new advertisement line that they are doing for the Knights. And one of their new toys that's coming out, it's a surveillance drone and bringing security to the people.
We're going to need more information on what that means.
Yeah.
They're in the future at some point going to be rolling out a new surveillance drone that they haven't been currently using, but they're really brand naming this to make it look sexy and make the people like it.
Yeah, I relay that to everyone.
And it seems to be doing rather well. People do seem to be liking the fact that, KE is improving their security.
But is this a place that he's going to personally to make meetings and that kind of thing?
No, this is more of a, he's putting together things, the media stuff, and he's sort of kind of the pusher behind this project.
Okay, and the follow-up question is there a way that we can schedule a meeting with him? Or is it a
This is a-
With what you know now, you're not sure.
All right. I would like to know that information.
Does he have like an agent we can call?
You can always call the facility that he works at.
Yeah,
The
I
media
offer,
conglomerate up in Juanita Bay.
I offer that up to our who's our face?
The one that's been talking a lot.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I offer that up to you, and that's an option.
So that's a interesting thing. If how far, aka in noise, are we talking about from here to that place?
You guys are in North Redmond to Juanita Bay.
Mhm.
Probably -1 or -2.
Okay. If you could mechanically.
Just based off of distance, but because you're in Redmond, you don't have a great connection anyway, so you're at -2 for that.
Sure. If you could throw a matrix perception on that host, so we can get some information about the host and see whether or not we can feasibly dive into it for more information.
Yeah. How many dice do I have for matrix perception? Let's see.
Computer plus intuition.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just 10 again, I guess. Jeez.
-3 for
-3.
Oh. Hot simmed, so that gives me +2.
Okay, so -1
do you-
total.
Do you have any noise reduction?
I'm plugged into the thing via direct neural interface, so I think I get -1 -1 noise reduction.
Do you
The
have,
data check, yeah?
Do you have the Signal
If-
Scrub program?
Yeah, my data check. The what program?
Signal Scrub?
Signals. I do not have Signal Scrub. I have Wrapper. That's
Alright,
not
you
gonna
should buy
help.
Signal Scrub because it'll take two
Mhm.
two
Two
noise.
noise?
He's hot simmed and he has a data jack, which
Oh, but on the public grid. I'm gonna hack on the fly and just crack open the.
And just run a matrix perception on it. We can find out its attributes and stuff from a matrix perception test.
All right, yeah.
It's one of those things of how big of a wall am I going to try to scale rather than throwing yourself
Yeah.
into the wall first.
Yeah.
That's probably a good
Yeah,
idea.
what kind of bear am I poking here?
Alright, which 3 stats would you like to know?
Oh, jeez. Let's know it's a. So I can know like firewall sleeves attack kind of deal.
Yes,
Oh.
but you can only get 3 of them.
All right, I want to know it's firewall.
Firewall is 9.
Holy crap.
And that's why we don't just
Um,
sleaze it first.
What is its what's its attack?
8.
Data processing?
7.
That's pretty good.
It's running 6 hosts. It's not that big of a deal.
It's a Horizon host, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I relay that to everyone. Just like wipe. I think I finally take my motorcycle helmet off for like the first time, and I just have like my hair matted to my skull and I'm just like sweating. Yeah, that's what we got so far.
Yeah.
You
You did great. And then she's going to
That is
turn.
quite a bit.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. She's going to turn in her
Target's
chair
data processing.
to.
Firewall. I can't just like DOS them.
No. It's not necessary.
Unfortunately, DOSing doesn't work on a host.
I figured. It's gonna be hard. They have a high firewall.
No, it's not a big deal. Trust me on this. So,
They have to keep their corporate secrets secret. I mean, they have
Exactly.
lots of clients, and they're a media company.
It's true.
So I'm going to turn to the Wretch and Amazon. It's like, so you're fairly sneaky?
I like to think so.
Excellent. Do you have vehicles?
One car of my own. If we're going to be tailing people, we're going to be needing to switch off so that we don't get caught on.
I wasn't even getting that far yet. I was seeing if you would consider driving up there, and maybe later tonight we can drive up there and see if there's some equipment we can data tap into to get our friend amped here a little bit better of a success rate.
For sure. You provide the tap, I can provide the placement.
I have a motorcycle if we want to take that.
Oh no, if we take my car, I have room for my Ares Alpha in the trunk.
Oh.
Remember where you're heading.
Maybe it'd be best if I just went there, like, separate, and we met up there.
Well, we don't all need to go. I assume between the two of you, you're going to be able to perform this. Wretch, are you familiar with the invisibility capabilities and that kind of magic, or what kind of magic is it that you really do?
Yeah, magic's kind of a vague thing.
But maybe not as quiet as you like.
Oh, for now, we definitely prefer quiet. Well, we can see what happens, see what we find out. For all we know, the place is landed with landmines and monowire and shoot-on-sight guards. Alas.
I mean, let's take it from the top. What would you say is what you are most comfortable doing with your magic?
Hurt people?
Wonderful.
Yay, blaster mages?
Oh, I've been rolling the wrong scan. Never mind.
She's a shotgun mage, not a blaster mage.
Oh, okay.
Magic for her is a bit more secondary.
The magic I do is with my shotgun.
Very
well.
Normally.
So we'll take a look into that a little bit later tonight. For now,
if nothing else, magic attacks would give us a way to disable the person without leaving evidence quite so obviously as other methods of disabling him.
I do have biofeedback if we need to fry him. Oh, actually I do have a question, like, mechanics-wise of this game. So I have hacking 6, and that gives me 11 dice, but when I make, like, a hack on the fly, for example, it says hacking plus logic. Does that mean I have 10 plus 5 because I have logic of 5?
No, that's just because certain things like matrix perception is off of computer plus intuition, where other tests are computer plus logic, that kind of thing.
Alright, yeah. I was just making sure I didn't have, like, a lot more dice.
Yeah, no, the matrix is a
let me link you
giant
this
mess.
spreadsheet. Let me link you this spreadsheet.
Okay.
There you go. So do I know
Because
of
I
any
have the thing open
popular
right now.
clubs or anything that is in that area?
Are you talking up by where his work is, or
Uh-huh.
by his home?
Either or both. I can do a secondary roam for by his home, if you like.
Up by Juanita Bay, there's nothing, really super amazing. It's a little bit too, double A and industrial and business-like to have super clubs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of cafes and whatnot, but down in Bellevue, there are a couple of, dirty secret clubs type thing, things that people that aren't from Bellevue aren't familiar with because the Bellevueians don't want other people coming in.
So I want to try and find a place where this guy or people that he works with would frequent is a, let's call it recreational thing, bars, clubs, that kind of deal is my aim here.
There is a lot, but based off of the dossier you have and the information that you found, you know that he goes to the theater, he gambles.
That's where that social hierarchy knowledge skill comes in.
Right, and he doesn't have family, so he lives alone. And being, upper middle management type thing, or low mid management, he's gonna try to go out and, make a name for himself, but it's very difficult on his salary to really go make a name for himself. The fact that he's doing the KE project is, definitely going to do things for his career.
Right.
He recently got promoted into that position, which is why he's getting that project. Basically, a proving grounds to see whether he could do it.
Oh, how unfortunate for him that that's what caused his final downfall. So my idea is kind of to, not necessarily for him, but is a secondary method of getting into, like, have maybe Amazon and Wretch go work the data tap angle, have Rose and Amp go work the social angle, where Amp hides in the club and Rose lifts a comlink off of somebody for him to have access to find that comlink and get that information out of it.
I imagine I have marks on all your guys' phones. You guys, like, let me have access to your stuff so I could share videos and stuff.
You can do that through the DNI call.
Yeah, okay, that's just made sure.
Yeah. It's just like a Skype call almost.
Except it doesn't
But
break
less
all the
shit.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, but less shit.
Right.
I don't know, you guys are in the Barrens, which means things are a little bit spotty.
Which makes it less shit than Skype.
No, no. That's the reason you buy a receiver dongle.
Okay. Alright, you guys are free to see if you can find him. There's not enough of a, this social's cast goes here, this social cast goes there, to say that he's going to be at any one location.
That's fine. She'll just go fishing.
Okay.
So from here,
this is going to be about 1 in the afternoon. You guys have been chatting for a couple of hours, and it took you about a half hour to get up here from where the meet was.
Do any of those places that I know as far as bars and clubs do a ladies' night?
Yes, that is typically on Thursday.
Excellent. We have a couple of days then.
Oh god, I'm gonna be wearing a wig and lipstick. It's gonna be horrifying.
No. You're just going to be the socially awkward person that's there to meet women, because that's what you are. But if it's one thing that I know, it's corporate sleazebags love ladies' nights.
This is true.
I'll get a suit and tie ready.
Speaking of which, if people need to get fancy clothes, Rose would be happy to try and find you a tailor.
Surprisingly, actually, my clothes are pretty nice. I spent like $150 on my clothes.
Oh, but are they going out nice?
I don't know. They might not be. They're only like street clothes. I might have to buy some new.
Trust me, we can have a makeover session. It'll be fine.
We'll have a montage where like I come out of the booth and like and everyone like shakes their head.
Alrighty. Is anybody writing down, and I'm just not seeing it, expenses for the run so far?
I've just been taking care of the 550 that I've spent so far.
Okay, you're not going to put that on everybody's tab?
Not until we hit into some bigger numbers that need to be worried about.
Alright.
Because Rose has money she can flash around, and flashing it around in front of people who are incredibly nervous and stuff makes her look better. So she's more than happy to do so.
Alright, just making sure. Alright, so you guys are rolling out from North Redmond and heading 2 different directions?
Yeah.
Seems like it.
I feel like
Sounds about right.
a couple of drive-bys might be in order for one of us, and the other ones might go do a fashion montage to try and find out some of the details on these clubs. I'll take our Decker towards the clubs, because clearly if I'm going to go in the attempt to find this person, or all of us really, if we decide to do that, clearly I need to be on the guest list, and having a Decker will help facilitate that.
I'll run interference, Overwatch kind of deal.
Yeah. And then Amazon and Wretch can do some physical surveillance on the other places if they don't mind. Just a quick look and see what the places are, see what the opportunities are for data tap, see how many employees they might have, see what kind of vehicles they drive.
Alrighty. Well, while Rose and Amp are doing their getting ready for a night out on the town, Wretch and Amazon, are you taking one vehicle or two?
I'm comfortable with either, really.
As am I.
2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Just so we can split up.
Yeah. I'll take my bike.
alrighty. You have the address for his place of work and his house. Which place do you want to check out first? Again, this is early afternoon, so he's probably still at work.
You should double split, and like one of you go to the house, one of you go to the work, and then drive off somewhere else, and then each of you check out the other place, so it doesn't look like you're casing it.
Yeah.
Because we're professional criminals, people. I mean, this is what we got to do.
Professionals.
Professionals indeed.
Oh god.
So yeah, Wretch will drive by his work.
I'll take the
Alright.
house first then.
Give me some perception checks. Probably visual, but if you have another type of perception you want to use, let me know.
I have no spec, but I have two parts of vision enhancement and 2 points of audio enhancement in my earplug. So I'm just gonna roll 10 dice for both.
Tim for?
10 for visual things and 10 for audio.
Alright.
And I am going to be taking just a moment to make sure I'm catching all of my limit improvements.
Okay, around the place of location, it is a 3-story tall building. It has the horizon, sunrise over the thing, symbol big and bold on the side of it. Has a fence around it, razor wire, across the top because they don't want people sneaking in easily. You see a couple of drones doing a slow crawl around the perimeter. That they're doing their typical patrol route. Looks like they're using drones rather than meet people. And there are cameras, generally covering everything.
Okay, now that I've
Now
that's
that
the
you
sense,
what?
like I'll just look around in the astral. I want to do astral perception.
Oh, astral perception. Astral perception. You don't see anything externally astral.
No wards, no spirits patrolling.
Not externally, no.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Amazon at the house. You drive by. It is a quaint little, ranch-style house. 1 floor. Looks like it might be, 1,500 square foot. Doesn't have a picket fence, but it might as well. It's in one of those neighborhoods, where it's just real nice, quaint, quiet, family type thing. Yeah. There is a panel on the door, or right next to the door. Looks like one of those complex interaction screens for ringing and talking and making sure you are who you say you are type thing.
Any exposed wiring to take advantage of obvious from the street?
There is a power line that runs from the street to the meter. Everything else is likely to be wireless.
Okay.
You guys can totally throw
Are there-
matrix perception dice too.
Yes, you can.
Are there any
Computer-
obvious security measures like cameras visible?
Excuse me. Aside from the one that is on the doorbell communication panel thing, no, none that are visible. Again, like you said, you can roll computer plus intuition to see if you see any matrix icons.
Can that be defaulted on?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe computer is you can default a
Yeah,
computer.
you can default on computer.
Yep.
Okay, with one hit, you can see anything that is not hidden. The door panel thing has its own icon. It is showing up as more of a sensor than a doorbell, but it makes sense since it's probably a camera and a screen and all that. There's wireless toaster and all that other fun stuff inside, because, well, who
Is there a
doesn't have
host?
a wireless toaster?
Like
There is not a host.
Excellent.
Mm.
There's not like a neighborhood host or anything like that, like a community
Okay.
housing thing.
Not that would be relevant. I mean, the homeowners association probably has a host, but it's going to be one of those just to keep track of logistics, not
Sure.
tied into each of the houses.
Just trying to
Okay,
figure out.
So the
what-
appliances are probably slave to a CHN?
I'm not familiar
Say
with that TLA.
The household appliances are probably all slave to one central house node, though, right?
Oh yeah, the house has an icon. It's more of a router, I guess, to the rest of the matrix. Acts as the firewall.
That
Keep
sounds
people
like what
from
we can
just-
hack.
It does.
Yeah.
It just keeps
'Cause-
people from turning the toaster on and off type thing.
Yeah, but it also means that we can use the toaster to get into anything else in the house.
Those fiends.
Though that does pose a very interesting question. What's the security area of the house where he lives in? Like, what are we getting from the feeling of our drive-by?
He's in Bellevue. He lives in Bellevue. It is AAA. This is nice house.
Okay.
Like I said, the only thing missing is a white picket fence for this to be the ideal house.
So does it have like shrubberies and stuff that we could use to hide an approach or hide vehicles, that kind of thing?
There's little bushes up around the edge of the house. There's a couple trees overhanging the road, just to give shade. But there's not a lot of places to hide. It's a very open neighborhood.
1 or 2 story house?
It's a one-story house.
One story.
I have a secondary idea that has popped into my head. As it's in a nice area, I'm going to assume bathtub, not shower. Like, is what, would have
Yeah.
a tub of maybe he settled down for some wine and fell asleep in the tub and drowned in a tragic accident.
We could dump a toaster in it.
Oh.
I love it.
His Roomba tried to clean into the bathtub while it was full. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, no, not even like that. We just,
No, I'm liking this drowning idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, actually. It's really smart.
Just, stun bolt him and then lower his head under the water.
it would be a little bit more involved than that. Gonna want to get if we can hack into his house and find the contents of his fridge, we could find out if there's a particular type of wine he likes, in which case we can then use that wine with which to
Chloral hydrate.
to facilitate his unconsciousness.
Chloral hydrate.
We can hack his dock wagon contract or his dock wagon ban so that it doesn't report the fact that he falls unconscious in his living room, perhaps.
Yeah.
And we
Smart.
can go from there.
Mhm.
Okay. Amazon, while Guin is restarting, do you want to do your drive-by at his work?
Yes.
Okay. So we're getting about 2:30 in the afternoon now. So some people that are lucky and probably get paid far more than he does are starting to leave. So traffic's, there now. All right, give me a perception check.
Alright.
Alrighty, you see
Well then.
things.
Get exactly my
dice.
limit.
16 dice on perception is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a lot. Dang.
All right. You noticed the same things that Guin did. That there were drones, a fence, razor wire. You also notice some disturbances in the grass that look like they're not quite normal grass. Do you have any security procedures stuff?
I do not. I
Okay.
assume small unit tactics does not even remotely resemble that. 'Cause unless
Does-
they're landmines.
No. You just recognize
Well,
the grass
I'm gonna-
is disturbed and not
I'm
quite
going to
as
forward
perfect.
the image of that as I'm going and ask if any of the others recognize what that might be. Because it looks amiss.
The razor wire is not monofilament.
So
The
good.
grass disturbances rose when he sends you a picture of them. You recognize them as likely access points for vibration sensors. Make sure people aren't out there walking that aren't supposed to be.
Get the hell off my lawn!
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And it looks like Skype fix except with a restart, so...
Awesome.
Yeah.
However, also with 3 hits, you realize this is a little bit more security than you would expect at a just general PR firm.
Mhm.
Not a lot more, but a little bit more.
So I'm gonna. The other idea I have to circumnavigate a lot of those facilities' defenses is gonna run into its own problems in this situation. So I'll just throw that one in the bag for now. So how do you guys feel about the drowning idea?
Yeah, I'm feeling like this
like
workplace is not the place to hit him. I'm liking the drowning more.
Drowning does sound like a
Mhm.
fun time.
Were you restarting when I talked about this?
Drowning him with,
Yeah.
like, some drug?
Yeah, basically he fell
I-
asleep in the bathtub.
You know, I heard that.
Okay, Guin, would you give me your perception check on the household?
Okay. Audio visual, right?
Yep.
For hits, I keep all of them.
Yep. You notice something, that there is a little chess piece icon, AR tag, floating in the front yard that I forgot to tell Amazon about.
Oh, you mean matrix perception?
No,
Oh,
this,
normal, okay.
you have glasses that have image link, right?
Yes, I have cyber eyes.
Okay, well then, yeah, this is popping up, and I forgot to tell Amazon about it, and I apologize. There is, like I said, a chess piece icon in the front lawn. It's not obtrusive. It sort of kind of sits there in the corner of your vision, basically saying that they have a contract with them for a little bit more security than just being in Bellevue.
So, special pawn contract.
Right. He paid. He goes to the police balls.
But policemen don't have balls.
Exactly. No, more than likely because you don't see, a lot of sensors and whatnot. You don't see cameras everywhere. It's probably a low-end package, more one of those. He has an emergency button, but
Is this a large residential section, or is there commercial businesses in the area?
this is large residential section.
Okay.
There might be a stuffer shack, except for it would be whatever the nicer version of stuffer shack is, about 2 blocks away.
Yep, I was just looking for ideas of things that might deliver to this area that we could manipulate.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. No. So we have a recorded image of what his house looks like from the outside.
Yes,
So I believe at least one person.
And Cyber Eyes come with a built-in camera.
Excellent. So we'll hackify his house later tonight. We'll find out a little bit more information. We'll potentially go get a bottle of wine or the requisite drugs to facilitate knocking him out. We actually don't even necessarily need to drug the wine if we can find another way to render him unconscious. That is a bit more covert. What's that?
That'll come up in the autopsy, the drugs in his system.
So will the what was the other thing that somebody mentioned? Chloral, whatever.
Yeah.
Chlorohydrate's a drug.
Summer dummy.
But
More specifically, it's used in sleep medications.
Oh.
which, if that's something he has in his house anyway, perhaps that'll work out fine. But that's not something Rose knows about the sleep medication part of it. But I believe somebody has some medical knowledge here. Oh, I have a point in medicine. Why did I buy a point in medicine? Holy shit.
I have a little bit. I also have a med kit if we need that.
Alright.
I mean, it basically amounts to spike his wine with sleeping pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfume.
So that
Preferably with something he has a prescription for.
Right, which when we go and hackify his house, we will find out which we can do later tonight. I'll go up with Amp to the stuffer shack that's like 2 blocks away. I'll go inside, buy some incidentals from the stuffer shack while he hacks from my car, so that this way you guys aren't, hey, these guys were here a couple of hours ago, what are they still doing randomly here, kind of thing.
And Gwyn, as you are leaving the neighborhood, you do see a patrol car wandering around, doing their typical police on-round stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I relate that. So.
Okay, so in my travels today with Amp, I want to pick up some Bliss and some Zen, and I will give that to Amp if he's feeling a little nervous. These will help.
I just you hand them over to me, and I hold up a little bag of small pink octagonal pills, and I'm like, I got long haul, don't worry.
Oh no, that long haul will keep you awake, honey. This is to calm you down. You seem a little nervous about this situation. See this one here? This one is Bliss. Let me come back over here as I try to convince my teammate to take drugs, because drugs are great.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them like, I don't know. I think being nervous is kind of the right reaction to this kind of stuff.
No, it's fine. This is just an opiate. It'll help keep you focused to kind of block out the world around you and let you not pay attention to the fact that we're ending a man's life for Nguyen.
I have knowledge 8 of street drugs, I think.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah, go ahead and roll me 8 dice.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to take them at the same time. I don't want to cause any kind of.
I'll just.
Okay, you had 5
5.
hits.
5.
Yeah, 5 hits. Damn! Why can't I get that kind of roll normally?
All right, you are very familiar with what these do, and they're not horrible options for when you're completely an AR.
Okay.
The Zen gives you +1 willpower, which is always good. So.
Mhm. Just wanted to make sure I wouldn't like choke on my own vomit or something like that while I was in AR.
No, she's not trying to poison you.
Well, yeah. I know,
However,
intentionally.
when you come out of AR, you're going to be a little bit sluggish movement, just because, well, you're feeling pretty damn good and
What
relaxed.
does Bliss do? I can't find toxins and.
Bliss is
It's
-1
core 410.
reaction, +1 all thresholds, -1 all limits, high pain tolerance 3.
Mm.
It's a
Take Bliss if you are getting a splitting headache from biofeedback.
Yeah.
Bliss is
Hey.
kind of like what heroin was supposed to be.
Okay.
its game book stuff is a tranquilizing narcotic. It is an opiate sympathized from poppy plants. It takes its name from the sensation users feel. Players attempting to roleplay a Bliss user may want to focus on the escapist angle, using the drug to block out the chaotic or unsatisfying world.
All right.
So if you're getting biofeedback headaches, you want to block that out.
Yeah, I'll take those.
Talk
to
but
them.
here's the thing. If you take biofeedback, you want to take nitro. Shot of energy.
Seems legit.
Take some kamikaze with that.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? But yeah, no, you don't need to take them now. We're not doing anything stressful now. Just if you're feeling a little stressed out later, let me know. I'll be more than happy to talk you back from that edge.
Alright, so we are rolling on 3 o'clock? We'll call it 3:30 or 4. After all your driving around looking at things. Are you guys regrouping?
I do have a question of, did you run a matrix perception when you drove by the workplace?
Nobody did a matrix perception at work. However, I will let
Oh wait,
Amazon.
Amazon did one. She rolled 4 dice, right?
That was at the house.
that was at the house.
No, I
Yeah,
was
I
at the
didn't-
house.
No, we did a split thing. Like you went by the house, then you went by work. Amazon went by work and went by the house.
Wrong. Sorry.
Can we have
So if we need
retroactively done
somebody-
that since?
Yes, I will let one of you have done a matrix perception at the work.
Rich can't because she's uneducated and just unaware in technical skills.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay,
I'm just gonna go ahead and edge that.
Well, trying to remember.
Or I mean,
Even
with a 0,
the
do I fail to
information
detect
I'm-
stuff that isn't hidden?
Yeah, you're still gonna see non-hidden things.
It's just how many questions can you ask about them?
You don't get any questions. However, you see a host and a crap ton of icons.
So the question that I have in that situation is there a AR icon that says this parking is reserved for, and then the guy's name?
It does not appear that there is reserved parking for anybody except for special guests.
Okay. Are the cars broadcasting their ownership of who owns said car?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of car does he drive?
There is not a car with his name on it.
That is an interesting bit of information. So if he's at work, he may not be at the location currently. On their public matrix access stuff, does it have a comm code that we could reach him at, or is it like just kind of call into the operator and they assign you to a guy?
It would be call in to the operator, and the operator would direct you to the correct people.
All right, let me try.
And they probably direct you based off of a series of questions that they ask you.
Gotcha.
I think we know enough to fake what we need to talk to him.
No, I got a guy. Hold on.
You have a lot of contacts.
That is one of the major things that faces do, is having a guy for every
Yeah.
situation.
So I'm gonna
And
call
Rose
up.
isn't a face, she's a social dominator.
It's a slightly different take on the idea. So
She's
I have
a persuader.
I have a contact. His name is Homeless Henderson. He is, well, he looks like a homeless guy, but he's in that kind of homeless guy where he's homeless by hiding out kind of thing. You know, like when runners need to lay low. He's kind of in like that
Right.
situation.
He's homeless by choice, not by
Yes.
necessity.
So I'm gonna call him up and I need you to make some phone calls for me, and I'm going to give him a metalink to make the calls from, and I'm going to give him 500 Nuyen to try and get through this place's public host directory to get me this guy's comm code. If that's kosher with you,
All right.
sir.
Yes, that is perfectly fine. So you want him to try to call in and get the comm code to the silver-tongued asshole.
Yes. I'm going to give him a little bit of the information we know on the guy. Be like, all right, I need his professional comm code that we can use to track him down and find out where he is. Here's some Nuyen, that kind of thing. So then flee the alleyway that he's in. Is like, oh my god, crazy homeless person.
Alrighty. He's like, oh, I'll make a call. How much are you throwing his way?
I'm giving him a metalink, which, as per our fairly standard agreement, which will be destroyed after the call is made and information is gathered, and 500 Nuyen. And I got 2 hits on a test, unless you would prefer that as a loyalty times 2 test instead of a connection times 2 test.
Yeah, do that one loyalty.
Sure, I'll just roll 2 more dice.
You're putting him a little bit more out there.
So 3 hits.
Okay, so 3 hits. He's like, okay, give me the comm code, or the comm link, and he starts fiddling with it, and he goes into crazy rambling. At least it sounds like, but you hear buzzwords from media PR stuff that you've seen on TV before, and he acts angry a couple of times, and he's like, fine. I'll call him later. Just give me his number. And he's like, do you want me to call my boss and have my boss call in? You know, that whole spiel. And I'll call him later. Thank you. And he hangs up. He goes, here. And he throws you an AR with the information.
And I will take that from him gladly. I will take the comm link back from him, and I will crush it in my bare hands. Look to Amp and be like, see, this is how we do work in the shadows. It's a wonderful thing. Now, come on, let's get out of here before he goes on a crazy rant.
What are you talking about, crazy rant? I'm not crazy. You guys are crazy because you... Yeah.
I waved to him as we're leaving.
So, now, Amp, I need you to take this comm code that I got and run some matrix searches on it, see if you can find out whereabouts it's located.
Alright, hopefully I do better on this matrix search. Oh, that's actually not bad.
Okay, so this is happening at about 4:30 in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, 5 on a matrix search. I'm pretty sure can get you the location of a comm code, or
Right.
a comm link, and it is on. Let me see what the road is. It is on 405.
Can I trace this to follow him home?
You would
Or
need
to follow
marks on it.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Is that 405 a road that would be traveled from work to home, or is that not near?
Yeah,
405 is interstate that runs north-south through Bellevue up. Yeah, so yes, he would be taking this to him from work.
He might be arriving soon, right now.
Okay. The main reason I'm curious about his car is I don't want to drive past his house when we go to do this and see either a different car, 2 cars, anything like that in the driveway, so that we have an idea of, we saw this car that he owns at work. We know whether or not he's actually home. We know whether or not he has company, that kind of thing.
At this point, I'm calling up. I'm gonna call up Wretch, or like through the neural link we have. So does Wretch? Do you have any like mind control or anything like that?
No, I'm not crazy. I don't want to try to. Or KO them and then put them into jail for money. I don't want to make them dance for me.
Also, no mage in their right mind ever admits to having mind magic.
All right.
We had 1 or 2, but yeah, they don't survive long.
Is it really that like frowned upon?
Yeah.
You are mentally wrenching control of another person's
Obviously,
body from them.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's
good,
like
I guess.
it's like super rape.
And that is actually probably pretty accurate. Yeah.
You can do some really nasty stuff with the influence spell.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Just wondering.
And I'm more or less hiding that Resh is an Egyptian mage, which is a possession tradition.
Oh.
But
Mm.
you have incompetent conjuring, which is
Yeah,
very
he can
interesting.
summon-
It's because I finally twisted his arm into not making an expected mage because they're poop.
Are
It's
they?
a thing. Yeah. Fair shit. It's like take a wizard and take the good stuff out.
You're breaking up a bit there, Glenn.
Yeah, we can't really hear you.
Yeah.
I hate Skype.
We can go to roll 20 if that's any better.
Actually, I show him as having dropped from the call.
What?
What?
I
don't
can
know.
still hear
don't.
you. I can still hear
Yeah,
you.
I hear
Okay,
you.
we can hear
Yeah, I
you.
hear you.
It's
I don't know.
odd.
I mean, it dropped me like
What-
10, 15 minutes ago again, but
I think we should have the people who don't have TeamSpeak download TeamSpeak while we continue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then once everyone has gotten that, we can switch over to a TeamSpeak server.
That
Sure.
sounds like a fantastic idea.
We can do that
And
through
currently-
at a break or something.
Yeah.
I'm installing it.
And we are actually close to 2 hours in, so why don't we just go ahead and take a break now, and
Sure.
everybody can make sure they have TeamSpeak sorted out, and we
Okay.
will reconvene in, we'll call it 5 minutes.